What's good, neighborhood? It's Warframe Wednesday. We got ourselves an update that just dropped last night, and hopefully, hopefully, I'm not too late to get us started today. There we go. What's good, Blue? How you holding up, man? Whew. Welcome, everybody. Oh, sorry, I had to go for a store run, but I think I might have overbundled, so I'm a little overheated. Is it now? Okay, so I got a 7-day resource booster on top of the resource booster that I already picked up as the login reward. Great. But anyway, as I made mention of earlier on Twitter, and yesterday, of course, the Warframe that we're going to be focusing on today is going to be none other than this gunslinging beast right here. Actually, yeah, I know what I'll do. Oh, damn. Let me try that again. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is clear everything out. All right. So as you can probably guess, just from the overall look of the Warframe, Mesa Prime is designed to be just a straight up. She's designed to be a straight up gunslinger. To everything from her passive to even her basic look is supposed to be reminiscent of gunfighters and duelists from the old west. Now, as far as Mesa's passive ability goes, her passive ability, Marksman's Dexterity, basically gives her a bonus when she's using any sort of secondary weapons. So, she fires faster when she's dual wielding pistols. She reloads faster with a single handed sidearm. And either way, when she doesn't have any melee weapons equipped, then she gets an extra, she gets an extra boost to her health. Excuse me. So, all in all, one would think that if you were going to take on any sort of missions with her, you you generally stick with you generally stick with nothing but guns, and I'd be inclined to agree. So, hell, even on that note, I'll just go ahead and remove her melee weapon. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get some punching bags set up, and we'll get started actually demonstrating her abilities. So give me just a moment. And boom, everybody's ready to go. Now, Mesa's first ability, Ballistic Battery. This is the one you start out with, and it's really interesting because what it basically does is it channels the damage from her next few shots to basically charge a specialized bullet. And the damage that's built up also includes any sort of damage over time from your bullets. So once you get it to 100, cast the ability again, and her next shot is going to do extra damage on top of that. In short, ballistic battery is definitely one of those. It's definitely one of those abilities where when you do pick it up, you are definitely going to want to make use of it just to increase the damage that you dish out at the start of the game. As a side note, charged shots from gun blades that you equip, like the Redeemer or the Sarpa, those will actually contribute to the charge for the ballistic battery. Alright, let me get over here and grab some more energy, and we can power up for Mesa's second ability. Alright, Mesa's second ability is more of a combination ally buff and damage mitigation ability. Shooting gallery. See what these guys are doing? So what shooting gallery basically does is causes the enemy's guns to jam, pretty much forcing them to go melee against you. But what's even better is that it also gives you a damage boost depending on what rank you have it at. When you max it out, it puts you up to like a 25% damage boost. And what's more is that the little aura, that the little sprite that was swirling around Mesa, it jumps from ally to ally, but any enemy in range is going to have their weapons jammed. So you cast Ballistic Battery to, start charging up that special shot. Cast Shooting Gallery to make sure that the only person who can do the shooting is you. And then, while they're still trying to fix their guns, bang. So just from those two abilities alone, you can already see why Mesa is a really solid solo and team-based frame. Her third ability, Shatter Shield, is even more of a splendid defensive ability, because what that'll do for you is basically set up a barrier that not only causes damage reduction up to up to about 80% once you get it max rank, but on top of that, any most bullets and even the rockets from like the heavier enemies that you take on, bullets will be reflected back. So this is a little something for when enemies like those gunners. That's a little something for when they run out of when the timer on Shooting Gallery runs out. Thanks, Chop. I appreciate it. All right, and last but not least, Mace's fourth ability, once you get her to rank 10, Peacemaker. Now, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but basically what happens is when Mesa draws her peacemakers, which are the guns that are grafted onto her forearms, she pretty much goes into a focused state where, you saw you saw the blue sort of targeting ring that shrunk as I kept firing. As long as there is something to be shot within that targeting ring, you can just hold down the trigger and spray, just dump nothing but bullets. And that's all so long as you have a constant supply or even a steady supply of energy. As long as you've got energy to cast it, you can basically go to town. I think you pretty much get what I'm saying. So anything that's within a certain range, but also within line of sight, can be targeted and can be fired on using the peacemakers. Now, there's a couple things I want to show you guys before I actually get onto the mission. Also, just really quickly, I want to go on how to actually pick up the component pieces for Mesa. Now, Mesa is another one of those frames where I didn't get the vanilla variant of her. I got the Prime variant because, as soon as I saw that her Prime variant was released, I had to get on those relics because she just. Well, let me show you what Mesa Prime. What Mesa Prime's default looks like. Now, of course, I changed up the colors to, add some brown to her, give her a little bit more of a black cowgirl wearing white leather kind of look. But I mean, come on, Mesa Prime just looks incredibly badass. I had to get her. But if you want to get Mesa's base variant, which of course looks like this, then the boss fight that you have to take on to get it, excuse me, is right here on the Eris node of the star chart. In particular, you have to assassinate the enemy known as Mutalist Alad V. Basically, imagine one of the major antagonists getting taken over by the alien infestation and getting a power up from it. And there you go. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick run through. Actually, yeah, let's go here. We're going to take a quick run through this boss fight really quick. Just so that way I can show off her. Just so that way I can show off Mesa's abilities more in action. Give you a demonstration. And I'm even going in with nothing but nothing but sidearms. So that way she's got the extra boost to her health. And of course, shush. And of course, for those of you that prefer a more covert approach to your gunplay, there is a mod, I believe it's called Hush, where you can put that mod on your firearms, and with it maxed out, it completely cancels any sort of noise that your guns will make. So you can still fire them, but the enemy won't hear them. All right, here we go. All right. Starting up with the Ballistic Battery and Yahtzee. Oh no. No alarm for you. Damn it. Still hit the alarm anyway. Oh, who do you think you're trying to shoot? Who do you think you're trying to hit? Okay, I think I'm going the wrong way here. Bang! Bang, bang, bang! Bang, 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 bang! Woo! Oh yeah, I don't have any melee weapons. Okay, time to switch it up. Alright, that Shatter Shield was definitely coming in handy for those last few seconds there. Sounds like he wasn't having a good time of it. Oh, well, that's what that was. Alright, and what I'm basically doing with the Ballistic Battery is just kind of banking the shot. So I'm holding off on recasting it and actually getting the damage boosted shot until I actually get to the bosses. So needless to say, if I don't make my shots count, then things are going to get rather dicey rather fast. And it looks like we're here. Upsy daisy. Ooh. Yeah, so I noticed. Okay, it doesn't seem like I can jam his guns, can I? But I can jam theirs. Alright, come on. Come on. That's what you think. Boom. One down, one to go. Whoop. Oh boy. And here we go. Boosted shot. No, wait, even better. A little bit of Peacemaker to end the fight. Alright, now it's time to get out of here. Oh yeah, that's right. Since I don't have a melee weapon, I can't do any of the stealth kills. Oh well. Alright, we're almost out of here. And boom. Mission accomplished. And it looks like I got quite a bit off of that, too. Alrighty. So that's right there is going to do it at least for the combat runs. But again, as you can see just from that basic run through there and from what I was able to do with my gear, if you want to stick with a long range fighter, no Ortis, sorry. But as I was saying, if you wanted to stick with a long range gunfighter, then Mesa is the frame to go with. That is, if you want a warframe that can really take advantage of utilizing your secondary sidearms. But again, the thing about Mesa is that, since she's definitely more of a Wild West style gunner, even though she loses that extra 50 health, equipping her with a melee weapon equipping her with a melee weapon like the Redeemer in particular is definitely going to be it's going to be something that could definitely play to Mesa's strengths, and not just in an aesthetic and thematic sense, but also in the fact that, again, if you use Ballistic Battery, then the Redeemer is going to help contribute to the damage. Now, let's go ahead and reapply the settings that I had for it real quick. And there we go. It's actually kind of funny because, just as a little aside, out of all the out of all the 90s first-person shooters that I played, I could never really get into Half-Life. Don't know why. Just wasn't my thing. Oh, but you sit me in front of Rise of the Triad or Redneck's Rampage, and yeah, just expect to lose me for hours. Now, one thing I do need to note for anyone that's planning on picking up Mesa when they get into Warframe is that once you get to rank 10 and unlock the Peacemaker ability, then that will actually open up the option for you to customize her exalted guns, to customize the regulators. Quick bit of trivia: the firing pin for those guns is actually grafted onto Mesa's thumbs. So it's literally bang, 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 bang. She's button mashing when she when she uses the Peacemaker. But anything that you could mod onto anything that you can mod onto your regular sidearms, you can also mod onto the regulators. So here I've got three different setups. One that's built on piercing damage and, well, no, sorry. This one is built more for, just fast firing. Fast firing, multi shot, and of course damage. This one is more for this one's built more for blast damage and, actually adding on the blast proc. So that's extra explosion damage plus knockdown. And this one right here is more for, excuse me, this one right here is, more for adding like successive poison damage against larger boss enemies where I may not be able to do so much damage per shot, but I can just keep piling on the status. So that's just a few ways you can actually go about modifying the regulators. And of course, that's outside of modifying their appearance. But as far as Mesa herself goes, when you're adding mods to her, I think you're generally going to want to mod for. You're actually going to want to mod for energy efficiency, as well as, of course, it's like you're going to want to mod for energy efficiency, for duration, and for power strength. And this is just to capitalize on what she can do, not only with her boosting abilities, but her also with her peacemakers. In addition, if there is one augment mod that I would highly recommend either trading for or just finding a way to get through the factions, that would be Mesa's Waltz. Because what that will do is when you max that out and apply that mod to her, it'll allow her to actually move and walk while she's shooting. So you're definitely going to want to add some mobility. Otherwise, if you're not using Mesa's Waltz, then I would recommend casting Shatter Shield before going into Peacemaker, just so that way she's not taking so much damage from enemy fire. There's the damage reduction plus the bullet reflection. So there's some drawbacks, but there are definitely advantages to using Mesa's abilities, and especially if you've got her in a team. Hell, if you have her teamed up with a Limbo, you can have Limbo cast Banish on her and send her into the Rift, but she'll still be able to do damage to enemies on the material plane using the Peacemaker. So that's a little advanced trick for my fellow rookies out there. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this episode of Warframe Wednesday. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope this information has proven useful. I will have last week's episode posted on YouTube. That one's going to be a little bit late because I want to make sure I've got all the text info there. But I will have last week's info posted up on YouTube between now and Thursday morning. So, again, if Warframe Wednesday comes up a little bit late on YouTube, that's going to be why. But, speaking of Thursday morning, I will be back tomorrow morning with another Cup of Gaming stream. This time, well, I'll post about it on Twitter. But, until then, you have yourselves a top-notch Wednesday, and I'll catch you next time. Stay good, neighborhood.